Welcome back. What's up? Good to see you here again for another episode of 666 Seconds of Murder. And for you first timers out there, just hang on tight for a little white knuckle trip with me, talking some crazy true crime stuff. But this video will be less than 666 seconds, or that's 11 minutes and 6 seconds, or it's free. And nobody's going to give you a deal like that. Nobody out there here on YouTube. Now, don't forget, real quick, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber, and comment. And there's going to be a special commenting for tonight, so stay tuned for that. But I'm getting so close to 15,000 subs, so if you're not a sub, please do that. That would help me out. But remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only. These are just my thoughts and ideas on the subject. Everyone in this episode that I mentioned is not guilty of anything. It's just everything is alleged. Now, when it comes to the Idaho 4 case, it's sort of like the gift that keeps on giving, or maybe the mouth that keeps blowing chunks. I don't know which. Use the analogy of choice. It's a mixed bag, okay? Recently, there were videos released to show us that, the police interrogations, if you want to call them that, for some players here in the Idaho 4 drama that we've been following for years. 3 years, coming up on 3 years. Crazy. Now, as if you didn't already notice in the title of the video, Dumb, and Dumberest, what I'd like to pose is a question to you is who is the one that fits the dumberest name? Okay, now you're going to get to pick the winner at the conclusion of the video, but you need to watch the whole video because you're not going to be able to understand how to do the thing at the end when you vote. So you'll get it. The three people you're voting for are not the three that you think. Now, before I pick these apart, I would like to say this absolute joke here with these police interviews. I mean, I've been watching interrogation videos for years, and they are not like that. Those are, more like an interview to get a job at Walgreens than a police interrogation. Definitely not after a quadruple homicide, easily the most gruesome in Idaho history, next to a college campus that is the lifeblood of the entire county and plastered all over every news station all over the world for years. Lawyered up or not, these three should have been pushed hard for hours until they talked. I mean, think about it. You got two people who were allegedly there during the attacks, somehow left unharmed. If that's not a red flag, I don't know if I've ever seen one before. I mean, why were they left behind? I mean, what was the deal with the 8-hour delay? I mean, those things just by themselves would cause the cops to fully make sure these two are okay before they're letting anybody leave. The cops had to think something was going on. I mean, if not, they should just turn their badges in and see if Walmart is looking for any holiday door greeters this year. My God. Now, they should not have blurred the faces out. I mean, these are adults who were awfully close to a quadruple homicide. Again, my guess is that they didn't want anyone reading their lips maybe during this, so that, there was so much stuff redacted that, if you didn't, blur it out, people would be able to tell what they were saying. Taking a sip of coffee here in my Murder Metal Mayhem travel mug here. These are sweet. In addition, maybe to deter the body language experts from telling us, whether they were lying or telling the truth, that would have been helpful and very fascinating to watch. Now, first, I'd like to discuss the police interview with Dylan. Was completely bummed that she's all blurred out because I was curious to see what kind of facial expression she would give, but none of that. Plus, it was a very short interview, 5 or 6 minutes. Appeared to be some sort of follow up based on the way they were talking. But if that were the case, then this would have been like this. This was the same day, the day of the actual murders, and so she had already been interviewed. That would have been like earlier, that afternoon, and she's wearing the same clothes that she had on standing outside the house when the cops showed up. Those green sweatpants. She had no shoes or anything, socks or anything on outside. And when she was in the interrogation room, it looked like she had like flip flops or slides or something on, but didn't look like she had socks on there either. So she, hadn't had any change of clothes or anything. So she was there, doing both of these interviews. Her responses to these questions were basic, very rehearsed, same as the ones she gave outside the house. And I'll give her points with sticking with this nonsensical story, at least for the moment, that somebody came up with. I mean, my guess is that could have been what a lot of those calls were about in the early morning to parents and friends, is coming up with a story. Either that or whatever organization that put this hit out on the house wrote it for them and made it very clear that this is what they were doing, or they were going to come back and get them. They may have been spared in exchange for being the eyes and ears in the house before the attack, and would put that alternate theory to the media so that this way nobody would be looking elsewhere. They were going to kind of throw everybody in the wrong direction. I believe that they never thought the case was going to get like it was in the true crime community, out there, and the news cycle. It was all over the place. Still is. Now, when it comes to Bethany, hers was also very dry, very rehearsed, with the hood of her sweatshirt pulled up over her head. I couldn't believe the cops did make her take that off. I mean, huge distraction to talk to somebody, I would think, with something like that on. But it was just as boring as Dylan's, just asking some real basic questions about, where you were, what time did this happen, that kind of stuff, but nothing very probing at all. They weren't hitting, good follow-up questions to things. They were leaving, they weren't leaving the room for hours to make them kind of stew on it, how they usually do in those videos, and then they come back. None of that. It was as easy could be. Not the usual techniques I'm used to seeing, like that read technique, which is kind of the standard for police to get results. That's what it's geared to do, and not, the details on their best field hockey secrets, which is how basic and simple this was. Now, of course, they would have to follow up those two gems with old Hunter Johnson, the guy who lived, he was ever present there at 1122 King Road, always there, despite the fact that his girlfriend Emily lived like next door or across the street. The same Emily who said in the last documentary series about the crimes that he was acting all strange that night and making sure the door was locked. No, that's not suspicious at all. Just taking a look at him in that same series, he does not look well. Maybe some sleepless nights, getting out of bed to check the door locks, I assume. I don't know. Doesn't look good. His interview was even more laid back with the cops, to the point where he was actually busted out laughing at some point. I mean, seriously. There was recently some released audio from the cops there at the scene, and one of the cops referred to Hunter Johnson as his homeboy. So what kind of relationship are these police? A very integral, when you wonder if they were all involved in this thing, it sure seems like they were. They're not even trying to hide it. I mean, it's like there's a director on the other side of the door telling them, no sweat. By the time anybody sees this video, the patsy's going to be locked up tighter than a drum. You're going to be living your best life. Cops are your friends. You got nothing to worry about. Something like that, right? The only morsel of information that I gleaned from watching this interview was that he said he was in a master's program at the university, and that made me almost burst out laughing. I mean, that is not boding well for the country to have a moron like this actually getting into a master's degree program. It definitely makes me question what the purpose is of all these degrees. Was he the master of anything more than watching over a party house with a stash of party favors? Maybe he's mastering in being a security guard at a mall near you. I don't know. Now you get a chance to cast your vote, okay? Which of the following is the dumberest, okay? The dumberest of this whole saga. But it's not one of the three that I mentioned, okay? We already know how dumb they are. I mean, they're all dumb, okay? Dumb, dumber, and dumberest, all of them. So your choices, though, for this question is, who's the dumberest of this situation? Number one, the people that we talked about in this video, Dylan, Bethany, Hunter, the whole group of them. Put them all in a box. Are they the dumberest? Okay, that's number one. Vote number two, the media. Are they the dumberest for just continuing to put out this nonsense? Or number three, and this is a tough one, guys, but you got to look in the mirror. Is it us, me and you? Are we the dumberest for following this? So cast your vote, 1, 2, or 3. 1, it's all the players in this story. Number 2, it's the media. And number 3, it's us. All right. And we'll see what we come up with. So comment below. Love to see how this one turns out. So what do you guys think? Drop a comment below. Lets the channel know how we're doing. Don't miss my next live tomorrow. That's Saturday, October 4th. I'm going to do it at 1 p.m. Central because I don't want to miss the Yankees-Blue Jays game, and that's at 3. So we'll do it at 1 p.m. Central, and we'll do an open discussion on true crime, okay? Check out the links in the description below for the merch page. What a great merch page it is now. New designs coming here every week. Got all kinds of cool merch on there. I'd like to thank the membership here at the channel, the Horns High Club, Mayhem Squad. You guys are amazing. Your support is definitely appreciated. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I've heard it all before. It's just the outro and I'm out of here. If you did, you wouldn't be loving this sick, weird groove. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment to help us get out to more. Smash that like and subscribe before you go. You must be some high achiever to watch this whole thing. Copyright 2025 by Horns High Productions.